You are not born for the arena. You're born ordinary. A farmer's son in Thrace, a shepherd in Gaul, a potter's apprentice in some North African town whose name won't survive the century. Your life has a shape you can see from childhood. Work the land, marry young, raise children who will work the same land, die in the same bed your father died in. You expect hunger some years. You expect sickness. You expect the weight of empire pressing down from a distance. Taxes, conscription, the occasional patrol of soldiers who take what they want and move on. You don't expect the morning everything ends. It happens fast. Fire before dawn. Not the kind you control, the kind that eats thatch and timber and spreads faster than you can run, shouting in Latin or Greek or some language you've only heard from merchants. Your mother is screaming. Your father is already dead. You just don't know it yet. You run. Of course you run. You make it maybe 200 meters before someone tackles you into the dirt. Your face hits earth. Copper taste. Knee in your spine. Hands wrenched behind your back. Rope cuts into your wrists. Rough fiber, tied by someone who's done this 1,000 times. You're dragged to your feet. Your village is burning. There are bodies. Not many. This wasn't a battle. It was a harvest. Raiders don't want corpses. They want merchandise. You're lined up with others. 20, maybe 30 people. Neighbors you've known your whole life, now bound and shaking. A man in Roman armor walks down the line. He's not a soldier. Wrong insignia, wrong posture. He's a contractor. He pries open mouths, checks teeth, presses muscles, examines scars. You're young, healthy, no visible deformities. You're worth something. A price is agreed upon. You don't hear the number. You're pushed toward a wagon with iron bars. The journey begins. 3 weeks of walking. You're chained to 9 other men. You sleep on the ground. You eat once a day. Bread so hard you have to soften it with spit. Onions that taste like dirt. 2 men die on the road. Fever takes one. The other just stops. His body shuts down from despair before disease can finish the job. No one buries them. The chain is unlocked, the body's dragged aside, the chain relocked. You keep moving. You pass through cities you've only heard stories about. Rome's infrastructure is incredible, even when you're seeing it as cargo. Paved roads, aqueducts, bridges that span impossible distances. The empire is a machine, and you're being processed by it. Finally, you arrive. The Ludus, the Gladiator school. It looks like a prison because it is one. High walls, iron-reinforced gates, guard towers. You're marched through the entrance, and the gate closes behind you with a sound like a tomb ceiling. You are stripped, not roughly, efficiently. Your clothes are taken. You're led to a concrete bath. The water is cold. You're scrubbed by men who don't speak. Don't make eye contact. This isn't cruelty. It's processing. Your hair is cut. Your head shaved. A physician examines you. Actually examines you more thoroughly than any doctor ever has. He checks your teeth again, your joints. He has you bend, squat, lift. He dictates notes to a scribe. You're given a tunic, rough wool. A number is assigned. Your name isn't requested. You are walked to the barracks. The Ludus houses maybe 200 men. Some are veterans, scarred, limping, eyes that have seen the sand. Most are like you, new, confused, terrified. You're assigned a cell. 3 other men share it. Stone walls, straw bedding, a bucket, 1 small window too high to reach. This is home now. Training begins the next morning. You wake before dawn to a bell. You file into the yard. An instructor stands on a platform. He's missing an ear. His voice could strip paint. You are not soldiers, he says. Soldiers fight for Rome. You fight for profit. You are assets. Assets that eat, shit, and bleed. My job is to make you worth the investment. Your job is to not die stupidly. You eat breakfast. Barley porridge. Thick, bland, slightly sweet. They call it sagina, the gladiator diet. It's heavy in carbohydrates, builds bulk. Spectacle prefers size, and a layer of fat stops shallow cuts from being fatal. You'll eat this twice a day for years. Then the real work starts. You train with a Rudis, a wooden sword heavier than actual steel. This is deliberate. Build strength, build endurance. You strike a palus, a wooden post, 6 feet tall and planted deep. Strike, strike, strike. Your shoulders burn. Your hands blister. The instructor walks behind you. When your form breaks, you feel his stick crack across your back. Again. You strike until your arms feel like they'll detach. Then you strike more. This continues for hours. They separate you by build and temperament. Big men become myrmidons, heavy infantry types with large shields and short swords. Lean, fast men become thrices or hoplomachy. You're somewhere in the middle. They're still deciding what to make you. You learn footwork, balance, distance management, how to read an opponent's shoulders, hips, eyes, where to strike, how to block without leaving yourself open. The geometry of killing. And you learn to lose. Specifically, you learn how to lose without dying, how to fall, how to yield, how to signal submission in a way the crowd understands. Because not every fight ends in death. That would be expensive. Gladiators are investments. You're trained to survive. A physician visits daily, not to comfort you, to maintain property value. Sprains are treated, cuts cleaned, broken bones set. You're kept functional. At night, in your cell, you talk quietly with the other men. One was a soldier who deserted. One was a debtor who sold himself to clear what he owed. One won't say. You all tell the same lies about escape. No one believes them. Months pass. Your body changes. Muscle layered over muscle. Reflexes sharpen. You stop thinking about home as often. Survival has a way of narrowing focus. Then, one day, you're told you'll fight. Not yet. First, you watch. You're led through tunnels beneath the arena. The air smells like blood, animal musk, and torch smoke. You emerge behind a gate. Through the iron bars you see it, the arena floor, and above it, the crowd. You've never seen this many people in one place. 50,000, maybe more. The sound hits you first, a living wall of noise that vibrates in your chest. It doesn't sound human. It sounds like weather, like the ocean, like a god breathing. 2 men enter the sand. They're experienced. You can tell by how they move. Confident, controlled, they circle. The crowd quiets just slightly, leaning in. The fight is short, technical. One man feints high, strikes low, opens the other's thigh. Blood darkens the sand. The wounded man stumbles, drops his shield, falls to one knee. The victor stands over him, sword raised. He looks up, not at his opponent, at the editor, the sponsor of the games, seated in the prestigious box. The crowd reacts, thousands of voices shouting at once. Thumbs gesture, though not the way Hollywood shows it. The signals are more complex. Thumb tucked in fist, thumb waved, handkerchief dropped. The editor considers. He extends his hand, thumb concealed. Missio, mercy. The fighter lowers his sword. The wounded man is dragged off. He'll live. Today, mercy entertained more than death. You understand something watching this. Skill matters, but favor matters more. The crowd isn't watching combat. They're watching theater. And you're about to audition. Your first fight comes 2 months later. You're a secutor now, the chaser. Medium armor, enclosed helmet with small eye holes, rectangular shield. Short sword. You're built to counter the retiarius, the net fighter, but today you're paired against another secutor. A training match. Similar size, similar experience. The hours before are strange. You're given wine, good wine, a last meal of meat and bread, better than you've eaten in a year. It feels like a gift and a warning. They oil your skin, strap on your armor. The helmet goes on last. The world narrows to 2 small eye slits. Your breathing echoes inside the bronze. You wait in the tunnel. You can hear the crowd through stone and earth, a muffled roar that grows and fades like tide. Then the gate opens. Light explodes. White sand, white marble. Blue sky so bright it hurts. The roar becomes physical, a pressure against your skin. You walk forward because stopping isn't an option. The crowd sees you, 50,000 eyes. The sound intensifies. You can't tell if they're cheering or jeering. It doesn't matter. They're reacting, and reaction is what keeps you alive. Your opponent enters from the opposite gate. You meet in the center. The editor signals. Begin. Everything you trained for evaporates. Your heart hammers. Sweat floods your eyes. You can't hear anything except your own breathing inside the helmet and the distant muffled ocean of sound. He moves. You react late. His shield slams into yours. The impact travels up your arm. You stumble. Sand shifts under your feet. Training surfaces through panic. Block. Step. Distance. You circle right. He mirrors. You feint. He doesn't buy it. You're both terrified. Both pretending not to be. You commit to a strike. He blocks it. The shock of impact vibrates through your sword into your shoulder. You disengage. Circle. Breathe. The crowd is screaming. You have no idea what they want. He lunges. You sidestep. His momentum carries him past. You pivot and strike, a controlled blow to his back. Not deep. Enough to score. Enough to draw blood. The crowd erupts. You feel something dangerous then. Something warm spreading through your chest. Pride. He turns, limping slightly. You press the advantage. Strike high. He blocks. Strike low. Connect. His leg buckles. He goes down on one knee. You could finish it. The training says finish it, but he raises his hand. Index finger extended. Submission. You stop. You look up. To the box. To the editor. The crowd is divided. Some chant for mercy. Others for blood. The noise is chaos. The editor looks bored. He waves his hand dismissively. Missio? You lower your sword. Your opponent is dragged off. You stand there alone in the center of the sand, and the crowd's roar washes over you. You are alive. That is victory enough. Afterward, they take off your helmet. The world rushes back. Color, sound, air. Your legs are shaking. You didn't notice during the fight. Your wounds are cleaned. Minor. Shallow. The physician nods approvingly. Wine is offered. You drink too fast and cough. The lanista, your owner, appears. He claps your shoulder. Good. Controlled. The crowd liked you. Not. I'm proud of you. Not. Well done. The crowd liked you. You increased your value today. That's what matters. That night you don't sleep. You replay every moment, every mistake, every strike. The fear doesn't fade. It crystallizes into something else. Knowledge. You can survive this. Maybe. Fights become regular, not weekly. Gladiators are expensive. You fight maybe 4 times a year. Between bouts you train, rest, heal. You're managed like a racehorse. Your body changes more. Scars accumulate. A line across your ribs from a grazing cut. A divot in your shoulder from a spear thrust. Your knuckles thicken. Your nose breaks and heels crooked. You learn to read crowds. When to pause before a strike. When to glance upward. When to raise your sword and roar. Survival isn't just combat, it's performance. You develop a reputation, small at first. The Thracian. The silent one. Eventually a stage name, something marketable. Ferox, the fierce. You're not fierce, you're careful, but careful doesn't sell. Women throw flowers. You're invited to banquets as novelty. Politicians like showing off their gladiators the way they show off exotic animals. You sit at the table. You're fed well. You're admired. You are never equal. Some gladiators chase fame. They take risks for applause, dramatic flourishes, reckless charges. The crowd loves them. Most die young. You choose differently. Efficiency over spectacle, skill over drama, boring victories that keep you breathing. Still, every fight is chance, a slip on blood-wet sand, a bad pairing, a hidden injury flaring mid-combat. You see veterans in the Ludus with scars layered over scars, missing fingers, clouded eyes, limps that never heal. They fight because freedom is possible, rare, expensive, but possible. Enough victories, usually 30, sometimes more, can earn a rudies, a wooden sword symbolizing release. You count your wins like a merchant counts coins. You're at 16. Year 3, they send you on tour. Smaller arenas in provincial towns. You travel in chains despite your record. Guards at every stop. The crowds are smaller, but no less hungry. In Pompeii, you fight Aretiareus for the first time. Net and trident versus your sword and shield. He's fast. The net whistles past your head 3 times. The 4th time it catches your shield arm. You feel the weight tighten. Panic spikes. He's reeling you in. Trident raised. You drop the shield, slip the net, charge inside his range before he can reset. Your sword finds his side. Not fatal. Enough. He yields. Mercy granted. You survive. The crowd throws coins. Actual coins. You're not allowed to keep them. In Capua, you fight a wild boar. This isn't combat. It's execution theater. The boar is starved, enraged, released into the arena with you. It charges unpredictably. No training prepares you for an animal. It doesn't think tactically. It just wants to kill. It gores your thigh. Pain like white fire. You fall. It circles for another charge. You throw sand in its eyes. It hesitates. You drive your sword into its throat. It thrashes, blood everywhere. Eventually it stops. The crowd loves it. They're screaming. You're vomiting from pain and adrenaline. The physician stitches you that night. 32 stitches. The wound festers. You fight infection for 2 weeks. You survive. Your count, 18. Year 5. Rome, the Colosseum. You've heard stories. None of them prepare you. The scale is inhuman. Marble rising 4 stories. Corridors beneath that stretch like catacombs. Machinery that lifts animals and fighters from below. Awnings that can cover the entire arena. 80,000 people. You stand in the tunnel and feel the building hum with their voices. Your fight is mid-card. Important enough to matter. Not important enough for the emperor to pay attention. You fight another veteran. Skilled, dangerous. It lasts 11 minutes. An eternity. You're evenly matched. He opens your forearm. You break 2 of his ribs. Eventually he makes a mistake, overextends on a thrust. You trap his blade, pivot, and put him down. Mercy granted. You win. The Colosseum roar is like standing inside a thunderstorm. You feel it in your bones. It's the loudest sound you've ever heard. Merchants start selling tokens with your likeness. Crude clay stamps, your face scratched into pottery. You see one in a market stall. It looks nothing like you. You're a symbol now, not a man. Count 23. Year 7. The body begins to fail. Recovery takes longer. Injuries don't fully heal. Your left knee stiffens in cold weather. Old cuts ache before rain. You hide this from physicians. Too much weakness lowers value. New fighters arrive at the Ludus, young, fast, hungry. They watch you train the way you once watched veterans, measuring, learning, waiting. You're 31, ancient by arena standards. One fight goes wrong. Your opponent is younger, faster. He feints high, sweeps low. Your knee, the bad one, buckles, white-hot pain. You go down. You manage to keep your shield up, defend from the ground. But mobility is gone. The fight drags. The crowd grows restless. He disarms you eventually. You lie in the sand. Shield knocked away. Sword gone. You look up at the editor. The crowd is divided. Some chant your name. Ferox, Ferox. Others call for blood. Fresh blood. Young blood. The editor considers your record. 27 wins. Years of profit. Thumb tucked? Missio. You're spared. But you feel the shift. You're no longer rising. You're being managed into decline. Recovery is slow. The physician binds your knee tight. You train lightly. Speed is diminished. The lanista speaks to you privately. You've been profitable, he says. Very profitable. We'll be strategic now. Exhibition matches, favorable pairings, you've earned easier work. You understand what he's not saying. You'll never earn the rudies. Not because you failed, because you succeeded too well. You're more valuable as an aging veteran than as a free man. Your next bouts are theater, staged matches against weaker opponents. The crowd senses it. They're polite. They don't roar like they used to. Count. 29. Year 8. Your last fight. They pair you with a rising star. 22 years old. Unscarred. Fast as lightning. The crowd is already chanting his name before the gate opens. You understand the script. You are the past. He is the future. This is transition. This is business. The gate opens. You walk onto the sand one last time. The fight is brutal. You fight intelligently. You exploit his mistakes. He has many. He's young. But stamina fails. Your knee gives out twice. Your shoulder won't lift the shield high enough. He's patient. He waits for you to break. Eventually, you do. He disarms you. Efficient. Clean. You fall. Sand in your mouth. Sky above. The Colosseum's roar feels distant now, muffled, like you're already underwater. You wait for the decision. The crowd isn't divided this time. They've already moved on. They're chanting his name. The editor looks bored. He doesn't even deliberate. The gesture is made. You see the young fighter's face. He hesitates. Just a fraction. You recognize the look. You wore it once, years ago. You nod. It's okay. This is the job. Steel enters cleanly between your ribs. Angled up, professional. You feel pressure, then cold, then nothing. Your body is removed quickly. There are 3 more fights scheduled. The sand is raked, fresh and clean. The games continue. Your name trends in conversation for a week. Merchants sell off remaining inventory of your tokens at discount. Your cell in the Ludus is emptied and reassigned. Within a month, a new favorite emerges. The young fighter who killed you. The crowd loves him. Fresh, unscarred, fast. They'll love him until he slows down. You were captured, trained, displayed, admired, profitable. You were never free. 31 years old, 29 victories, 8 years in the arena. This wasn't glory. This was your whole life. And right now, somewhere in the empire, raiders are entering another village. Another young man is being bound with rope. Another price is being negotiated. The Ludus never empties. The machine keeps running. The crowd always wants more.